Hey, curious minds, welcome to the Robert and Crew Show, where nothing's off limits and everything's up for debate. I'm Robert, here with Crew and the awesome Julie, and let me tell you, Season 6 is our wildest ride yet. You like conspiracies? We've got 'em. From secret societies with handshake deals in shadowy rooms, to wild theories about weather control and UFOs zipping across the skies, I promise there's no rabbit hole too deep for us to dive into. Ever wondered if your neighbor's a lizard person? Or if the lights in the sky are just weather balloons? Or something a little more out of this world? Yeah, we talk about that. But it's not just mysteries and mayhem. We're also obsessed with history's weirdest moments, global news stories that never make the front page, and even the pop culture that shaped us. Batman debates, Assassin's Creed lore, classic horror films that made us sleep with the lights on, all fair game. And the best part? Our show isn't just us talking. We bring in special guests, listener questions, and wild interviews that might just blow your mind. Whether you're tuning in on Facebook, Twitch, or right here on YouTube, you're in for a mix of shock, laughs, and those, wait, seriously, moments. So if your brain loves a good mystery, join us every week. Hit subscribe, drop your weirdest questions, and let's unravel the world together, one wild episode at a time. This is the Robert and Crew Show. See you on the other side.
Welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. All right, guys, I know we had a new intro. Crew just had to have me change it.
Slight bit. We had to add Julie's name to it since she's a regular co-host now.
Yes, and I forgot to change that. I had some issues with the co-host thing.
You're good. So
I forgot to change it.
Tonight we actually are sponsoring a product, aren't we, Crew?
We sure are.
And that product, we're going to introduce that product here in about 10-15 minutes. So stay tuned because it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, Julie, how are you doing?
I am good.
This episode's kind of your episode, isn't it, Julie?
Yeah, I've been interested in the Roswell UFO sightings. Watched the video recently about it and still don't know a whole lot, but it's very interesting.
And by Roswell, you're of course talking about the infamous alien crash.
Yes. Onto a farmland where the farmer actually spotted it and took the craft to the local police. And then the military came and took it all away and they tried to cover it up.
Ba, ba, ba.
Anybody remember the early 2000s Roswell show?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That was a pretty good show.
I didn't watch it like that, but I know what you're talking about.
I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Of course you did, Crew.
They put it in the papers as being an UFO sighting, but then they had to retract all of that and say, oh, it was a weather balloon. And they covered it all.
Yeah, they
They
couldn't have anybody knowing that there were aliens living among us.
Yep, and apparently there were 4 of them. All but one died. One was still alive.
There were 4 of them?
That's what I saw in the video that I watched about it, that apparently there were 4 and 3 of them died and one was still hanging on to life.
Yeah, and the one that was still alive, I believe's name is EB11.
Okay.
And it is Area 51.
Yeah. Well, wasn't his name EB?
I guess my cat's very talkative.
I hear. He probably agreed that maybe that's the name of it, but I never really I don't recall the name.
So,
but
yes.
That sounds familiar.
infamous Roswell incident where farmer believes he has crashed UFO technology that lands on his farmland. The military shows up. The newspapers are released same day saying alien craft crashes in Roswell. Not even 2 hours later, the military's going around and collecting all these newspapers. And the very next day, another newspaper releases that says weather balloon crashes over Roswell. Which was it, guys? Was it a motherfucking weather balloon or was it aliens?
I think it was aliens. And then even the aluminum that they collected, whenever they bent it out of shape,
It would
it
bend
came
right back.
right back into shape again.
I've heard that too. I don't know how legitimate that claim is, but I've heard that also.
Yeah. Because I heard it from, there was even a 5-year-old boy with his grandfather who found all that craft. And he tried keeping a piece of it when in his pocket, and apparently they found out and they took it from him, and he was not allowed to talk about it at all. And he
Oh
was
yeah.
scared. He was scared into not talking about it until like 20 years later.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry to interrupt the show, but right at this moment, I have to go over this with you guys. These are the 4 new logos. Right now, we have one of the logos up in the corner. It is the one that is being voted on the most in the group chat right now. That's the logo right now that is being voted on the most. So that logo is this logo.
I like it.
So that logo right now is the one winning. There are 3 other logos being voted on in the chat right now. The logos are this one.
That one I picked.
Yeah. And then there is this one. And then there is this one.
Which I picked.
These are the new logos that are being voted on. So if you have the Facebook app and have the general podcast chat for the Robert and Crew Show, go jump in there and vote on that. Now we have a wonderful word from our new sponsor.
I don't think people understand just how messy Bigfoot gets. Mud, moss, mystery stains. His laundry's legendary. But now he's got a secret weapon. Watch as Bigfoot wrestles a puny detergent. Oops, there goes the cap. Enter Sasquatch Suds. With Yeti-strength cleaning power and pine-scented freshness, even his fluffiest fur sparkles. Now, Bigfoot struts past campers. Wait, is that envy or just amazement? Sasquatch Suds, for fur and duds.
There you go, Sasquatch Suds. Go find it at your local grocery store or Outdoor Supply & Co. Wherever you need it, you can find it. Sasquatch Suds, guys. So, anyways, back into the Roswell subject. So you believe it's aliens. Crew believes it's aliens. It could be aliens. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Aliens. If it's aliens. I mean, I've always fought for the alien side of things. I think it is probably aliens. But I also think that I feel like if it was aliens, a lot more people would know because that secret would be so hard to keep.
Yeah. But the farmer that found it, he was put under so much pressure. He was told if he told, they would kill him and his family.
Oh yeah, no, they always say that, right?
Yeah.
It's the Men in Black.
Yep. And they held him for a week.
The Men in Black. That's a weird
Yeah,
one.
they held him for 5 days to make him not say a word, and they tortured him pretty much with
They
stuff.
MK Ultra'd him.
So you're
Yes.
telling me that Will Smith walked up in there and neuralized that boy's ass?
So you got Will Smith and who was the other guy?
I don't remember. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tommy Lee. So
yeah.
you got Will. And then you got Tessa and Chris Hemsworth. You got all four of them coming at you, trying to zap your brain to make you forget.
Here
Yeah.
comes the man in black. Do you remember that Will Smith had a whole rap song he made about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that movie.
Men in
I
Black is
watched part
good.
1 and 2. It was good.
What if Men in Black is literally telling us that all the aliens are already here? They've always been here. And secretly, they're the ones who are actually running everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And then another tidbit of information. The guy that was talking to the family of that found that craft said that when he was talking with the farmer, he was getting ready to show him a piece of the craft that he wanted to show him, but he got a knock at the door and he wasn't able to show him that. But apparently it was hidden in a hot water tank in their basement.
Right. So I guess in 1995, a grainy film resurfaced claiming to show an alien autopsy from the Roswell crash. It was later debunked as a fabrication by a filmmaker, Ray Centil, and was admitted it was staged, but claimed it was based on real footage that he had seen from Roswell. The fake film still captivates conspiracies and enthusiasts around the world. So that's a fun little fact.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then, like you said before, Julie, there was weird things about the metal that were going on.
Yeah, it would bend right back into place again.
Yeah, despite any claims of extraordinary materials, there's actually no verifiable debris from the crash that have ever been publicly witnessed or even gone over. So that's something to think about too. Is that as far as we know, there's never been a piece of the Roswell incident that has ever been actually researched and or talked about in any way.
Yeah, because they
So
try to cover it up.
yeah, they never tested any of it. They just called it a weather balloon and said, "Good day to you guys. It's a weather balloon. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here at all."
Yeah. But now, what I can't. Roswell is the hub of tourist activities nowadays.
Well,
People trying to
Roswell,
find stuff.
Roswell is the home to Area 51, right?
Uh,
Isn't Roswell, New Mexico, the home of Area 51?
Oh, Area 51's Nevada.
Oh, Nevada.
Nevada,
Okay.
yeah.
Nevada, never mind.
But
Well, I
now
know.
they got museums and gift shops and everything.
Well, yeah, that's the extraterrestrial highway.
Yeah.
How many UFO sightings are in New Mexico a year? I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Okay.
How many UFO sightings in Roswell, New Mexico a year. Boom. Let's find out. So 22 to 30 sightings per year.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
that's quite a few.
Now, as always, those are unverifiable, and they're all just people's claims. But
It's all alleged.
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of
That's-
UFO sightings in New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's a lot of alleged accusations.
How many UFOs are seen around the country a year?
Do, 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 do.
Let's checking it right now. All right, let's see this. Okay, there are about 6,000 sightings a year, with anywhere between 300 to 1,600 that are government tracked.
Hmm.
So a lot of them are from the government.
Well, no, the government is invested in quite a few of them, which means the government knows they're not normal.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other ones could be government aircrafts. The other ones could be civilian drones. They could be government drones. They could be other countries. They could be from outer space. They could be from the ocean. Like, there's still a good 75% that are unknown.
Yeah. And a
Right.
video I seen today,
Or
it
sorry,
was
there's 75% that are known, that are
okay.
man-made aircraft. There's about 25% that are still unknown.
Okay.
That's quite a few still.
That is. I was gonna say the video I watched today, it was military planes flying by, but the way they were shaped reminded me of alien craft. The way they were shaped.
You guys ever remember seeing the old footage of the jet fighters chasing alien ships out of airspace and the mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wondered if that footage was real or if AI created it or if it was created by somebody with Photoshop, but I haven't been able to find it since. But it's like two Russian fighter pilots chasing a really big UFO out of their airspace by the mountains.
Hmm. I kind of remember seeing something like that, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And then there's that Tom DeLonge character from Blink 182 who is obsessed with UFOs and aliens and claims that he's talked to people in government and that he has specific videos and details and specifics regarding certain UFOs that have been seen or heard by different whistleblowers in the government.
Yeah. And then thinking of that, um, I was watching something from Josh Gates, the historical person. His
Right.
shows. He was talking about people in China who were really big on um how do I word it? On things in the future. And it
Okay.
was all based on UFOs. technology that they believed was real. They said they predicted the tsunamis that happened, that really, really bad one.
Yeah.
And they said that they allegedly found out because of these UFOs that they studied.
Hmm.
And I think it was kind of from, I forgot the name of the group, but it was in China. And but they believe that they can talk to UFOs,
So the
and that
Chinese
they,
believe they can talk to UFOs. That'd be uh,
yeah,
until I see it to believe it. I don't believe it.
yeah. And then they said that allegedly it's kind of like a cult. It's kind of a cultish type thing. So I don't know how true it is, but it was just something I kind of watched the other day just to
Well,
see what they were
I'll
talking
tell you
about.
what. If you go outside and you meditate, like you actually go outside, you close your eyes and you breathe and you just empty your mind of everything, and you ask the universe to show you a UFO, and you open up your eyes just for a split second. If you do this multiple times for like a month, eventually one will show up literally right in front of your eyes. And I believe the reason for this is because as long as you keep your intentions pure on seeing something that's out of the ordinary, you're bound to cast that energy towards yourself. And I've done it myself, and I it took me about 3.5 weeks, but I would go outside and I would just sit there for a little bit, and I'd think to myself about wanting to see a UFO in broad daylight, and eventually one literally did show up, and it was like your classic cylindrical UFO saucer like object, showed up for about 5 seconds in front of me and then disappeared.
I believe that.
So
And that's
meditating
what
on
they
it,
kind of talked about.
yeah, meditating on it does work. Now I don't know about communicating with it. I don't think you can communicate with them, but I think you can call them. I think you can definitely call them to where you are. And the reason why is I think they're here for us. I think they have some kind of connection with us, like literally with us. They can feel our energy fields. So there's something about them and us that are quite similar. And I think they could possibly even be us from the future. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but
Back
I
on that
think
real quick that you just brought that up.
I
I
think
read
the
the other
alien
day.
grays, I think the alien grays are us from the future. I think they are us from the future. I think we get so advanced that we eventually lose the use of organs like sex organs. So males wouldn't have their privates anymore and females wouldn't have their privates anymore. Females would even go as far as to almost not even having like breasts. Like you wouldn't have defined breasts. You would all just look like skin suits, like gray skin suits. You know what I mean?
With the big eyes.
Yeah, with the big eyes, and you don't really know who's a male and who's a female. The only way you can tell is if somebody makes it known to you that they're female or that they're male. And I think that they focus on like creating life in like a test tube and stuff like that because they're able to do that kind of thing. But it's gotten so bad for them that they can't do that anymore, and the test tube babies aren't working out. They just keep dying or whatnot. So they've resorted to kidnapping people, specifically human women. And then what they do is they impregnate those human women, and those human women birth human hybrids. And like a day or two before they're about to give birth, they get abducted again, and randomly they come back and they're no longer pregnant. they don't even have a wound from being pregnant. They might have a scar somehow and they don't understand. It's been recorded so many times.
Yeah, I've seen so many videos about that.
It's been recorded so many freaking times. It's
Well,
ridiculous. It would not be a lie. Like, okay, so many women. How do so many women think the same exact thing happened to them when they were pregnant, but they all live in different parts of the world, and it's almost impossible for some of them to talk to each other. And some of these complaints and investigations took place before the internet.
well,
Yeah,
So I
uh,
would really like to know. I think aliens are abducted women and they're impregnating women with human hybrids, and women freak out because either A, they don't have a male, or they do have a male and they don't realize they're pregnant. And then they get comfortable with having a baby all the way up into like 8 or 9 months, and then they get abducted, and then that baby's gone. And everybody's fucking confused. It's
yeah.
torn families apart, man.
right. Well, I I saw this the other day on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
It was it was a picture in a video map form of apparently Elon Musk came out and said he's from the future, a 3,000-year-old alien trying to go back home.
Oh my
I
god.
don't believe it, but that's funny.
Right.
That is funny.
So Elon, I think Elon is just a super autistic, genuinely smart man who does dumb things sometimes. And I think he got way too full of himself doing this Doge shit, this Department of Government Efficiency shit. And then once they came for his stuff, for his involvement with Tesla and basically Tesla having government contracts, the Department of Government Efficiency had to cancel his contracts with the United States for the Tesla military vehicles, which were not needed at the time. And Elon lost out on like $23 billion. So of
Wow.
course he's like stupid upset, and then he caused a giant fight with Trump about it, and then said some outrageous shit, and now we're in that boat with all of that. But Elon apologized. I saw that he finally apologized to Trump. But it's just like Jesus, like a lot of crap is going on right now.
Yeah, it is. And I've been trying to I scroll through. I mean, I try to get some of the basics, and then I scroll on through because I was like, I don't want to see everything right now.
It's
All
not
these
worth it.
civilians, it's not for the mental health in you. It's not worth people seeing people get killed or hurt because they're hitting civilian buildings right now.
Oh yeah.
And
Iran and
apparent,
Israel are fighting for sure. It's not a good thing.
it's yeah. And I even heard that Russia is in it too, pretty much.
Are they really?
Well, one of the TikTok videos today of the news, Russia had hit a apartment complex,
In
and
Israel?
then I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure. And then even a what you call those little flying things that we use nowadays to see stuff with
Drones.
drones that they used a drone to hit one of those apartment buildings. But for some reason, I remember seeing that video today and they were talking about Russia. So I don't know what that was for sure.
I don't know.
I just asked. And so Iran is obviously involved. Syria shot down some Israeli interceptors. And Russia has cooperated with Iran, supplying them with 35 jets and S-300 air defense systems in exchange for Iranian drones used in Ukraine. Russian officials have urged Iran to restrain its response to avoid escalation. So yes, Russia has basically funded Iran.
Okay. That might have been some of what I
You're
heard,
right.
but I
Yeah. No,
wasn't
they gave
quite in.
Iran jets. They gave Iran jets.
Wow.
They gave them 35 jets and S-300 air defense systems.
Yup.
So
Okay.
Iran has been equipped by Russia for sure.
And Russia reopened a old abandoned aircraft place,
Yeah.
and they said that they saw on whatever those things that are in the sky.
Drones?
No, away above our atmosphere.
Satellites?
Yeah, satellite. That they saw two Nova a no I think they're called Nova nuke like jets,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
this facility is not far from Alaska on Russia soil,
Wow.
and they're only doing it to push back at America.
Yeah. I don't, I think things are going to escalate. I don't want them to, but I think they will. Hey, crew, do we
Yeah,
have any comments?
no,
Okay.
Nobody's on tonight. Nobody's watching us tonight for whatever reason.
Wow.
They must not know that the Robert and Crew show is back. They must not know about Sasquatch Suds, our new sponsor. I'm plugging Sasquatch Suds, right, Crew?
right.
Yep.
Come on, man. Of course, the day we get a sponsor, nobody wants to be here to celebrate it with us. We're keeping Bigfoots around the world clean. Everybody should be happy.
Yep. We need the people to come and watch about Sasquatch. Sucks.
Sasquatch Suds is going to be the best selling Sasquatch detergent for Sasquatches only. I
Yep.
guarantee you we sell a shitload of it in Washington State.
Oh, definitely. With all those Sasquatches.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Roswell, New Mexico.
Dude, Roswell's going to
Yes.
be filled with Sasquatch Suds. Those
Man,
aliens got to get clean too.
oh yes, definitely.
We're going to have to come out with a new line of detergent for the aliens. I'll have to talk to Sasquatch Suds about that. I'm sure they can figure something out.
Oh
Right.
yeah, for sure.
Get gray
Definitely.
alien wash.
Yes. The wheels in my head are turning right now.
I will say that guy you sent me his his telegram, he is blowing his telegram up every day with new news about Iran and Israel. Every
Yeah,
day. I get
he does.
notifications from him. Dude, he is such a good reporter. Like that's all he does is report.
Yes, I'd love to look at his stuff because he's accurate. He's on point.
Dude, I love Telegram for like true truthful, true politics. Because
Yes.
there are people out there who actually go out there and tell the fucking truth for once.
Yes.
Like
And those
there was this other
you
guy I saw just a while back. He may have worked for InfoWars, but he had his own Telegram channel, and he was like taking pictures and stuff like in it may have been during like the George Floyd riots and stuff, but he was like one of the only people like telling the truth about what was actually going on in the riots.
Wow. I also follow our House Speaker, Mike Johnson. And so he's always sharing up to date stuff that's going on.
Is that a real channel though?
Yes.
Okay, because so many of like those actual like supposed political figures on Telegram are actually fake channels.
Yeah. But him and the one I told you that you're talking about, them two
Yeah,
are the
Omari
main.
Safardi.
Yeah, they're the main ones that I really look at.
So, crew, where you be going for most of your like political slash alien slash cryptid news?
Where would I be going?
No, where do you go for it?
Where do I go for it? TikTok.
Okay, but you can't always trust everything TikTok says.
Or I'll go to the actual World Wide Web.
Well, I mean, you can go to YouTube, but now I feel like now with AI getting so good, like we're gonna have video footage that comes out that says it was shot in like the days of Roswell, but it was actually like put together as a prompt 5 seconds ago in a video AI generator. And it's going to be so good that it's going to look like it was shot when they said it supposedly was.
Yeah.
And that becomes a problem. So I think in the next couple of years, it's going to get very hard to tell what's real and what's not,
Yeah.
specifically video wise. You've seen what the AI can do. The AI does our intro.
Yeah.
The AI does our outro. The AI does a lot of different stuff. And you know, everybody uses a form of AI, whether that be Grok or Meta or Samsung's AI, literally, or Google's AI. Everybody uses an AI. Alexa, Siri. I mean, everybody uses one.
Yeah. I've been seeing
I
it
use
so much.
AI a lot.
I have a theory that AI has been here the whole time and we just found a way to tap into it.
Yeah. And I admit I've used the media AI.
Oh, I think everybody that enjoys being able to create things has wanted to use an AI platform. But the crazy thing about AIs is they learn so much and they get so good at what they do that now any alien video that comes out, man, I have to like go, but it could be AI. And it ruins everything for me.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, what's real and what's fake? Because somebody can make a really good video of a tiger and a jaguar like fighting and the jaguar like winning but the tiger getting up after faking like it's dead and killing the jaguar but then taking the jaguar's head and making it part of its own body in front of you, and that's AI and it does all that right in front of you. You're like, what the hell just happened? But like that happens, and then AI makes really good videos like pretty soon here they're not going to have to fake space videos anymore because they'll just ask AI to make a video of an astronaut walking flawlessly through space,
Yeah. I'm
and it
thinking of
will.
that.
Oh yeah, it will. Eventually it will. It will. They'll
Yeah.
just use AI for everything.
There was a video that was going viral of somebody taking pictures of the clouds, and apparently there was a person. They seen a person that looked like a person walking on the clouds.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that before, and I mean, it could be, but a cloud is made up of water, so it's almost
Yeah,
impossible to walk on top of a cloud. It would be interesting to know what that phenomena is and why people see what they think they see. They
yeah,
could be like looking into a different dimension or something.
that's true too.
When it comes to like the aliens, though, like with Area 51, how come it's been so long, but they still won't release any files about Area 51 to us? I know it's still a reoccurring base and that it's still being used for different things, but things that it's done years and years and years ago, when do we get to learn more about Roswell? When do we get to learn more about the supposed UFOs kept at Area 51?
Yeah, and then apparently, because I watched some YouTube videos recently about this guy that was exploring around Area 51, and he had seen where there were plane crashes that had been there for quite some time, and they just left them there. They didn't move them
Whoa,
or anything.
weird.
It was weird. And then there was a tunnel he went into on that same area where it looked like they may have used it for meetings and stuff.
Maybe that's weird. But you were talking about videos, and that reminds me, we got some videos. So let's throw this
Okay.
video
Yeah.
on real quick.
All right.
And when I say that, people go, wait a minute. You talking about Roswell? Was Roswell real?
Was Roswell real?
It was, absolutely.
Okay, so what was at Roswell?
There was a crash. It was a vehicle that had broken into two pieces, and it was recovered by the United States government, taken to a secure military installation, and then from there it went out to certain locations. What is in that book, I'm allowed to talk about. That went through the Pentagon review process, so I am legally able to talk about it.
What book does that man claim to have?
Right.
Yeah.
He wrote a book. I'm gonna have to read it.
If it's
This Air
available.
Force base here in Roswell, New Mexico, was the center of a controversy back in 1947 that over 40 years later still remains unsolved. Remnants of a mysterious craft were found on a remote ranch and allegedly stored here in Hangar 84. To this day, there are many who believe it was a UFO. When we first heard of the incident at Roswell, we assumed it was just another UFO sighting that could be easily explained. A distant aircraft, an errant missile, or perhaps it was just a hoax. However, eyewitness accounts and disturbing evidence suggest that something strange happened here at Roswell, something that cannot be easily dismissed.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but when
Who
is
you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
What, crew?
what?
Put your face on screen. We can't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
No, I said what, crew? You said something earlier
Oh,
before I rudely interrupted you.
I forgot because I'm also dealing with dipshit.
Well, you're supposed to be talking about Roswell and aliens right now with us.
I know, but yeah, Roswell is all a harmful conspiracy that's all alleged.
For entertainment purposes only.
Only. So, yes, that's how I view Roswell. Happened in
An unidentified object is witnessed streaking across the night sky, then crashes in the desert north of town near the Roswell Army Airfield. Rancher Mac Brazel hears the impact and investigates the next morning.
Mac Brazel is the first to find the debris field, and it's an impressive debris field. Pieces of objects and things everywhere. And Brazel reports it to the local Roswell sheriff, a man named George Wilcox. And Wilcox sends some deputies out there, and the case just gets crazier from there.
And the case gets crazier from there.
Bruh, Spyro, I don't want to hear it from you. You keep going after my freaking charger and my phone. So shut
Get
up.
his toes, Spyro. So, anyways,
Well,
Crew.
before you rudely interrupted me with that video,
Oh
I
yeah,
said-
I'm so sorry. I'm so rude.
I said what I was saying was Roswell incident happened around 1947.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
So is there any question, I mean, that elements of our military, our government, have known for a long time that UFOs are real, they're from somewhere?
Oh, sure they do. I know certain in 1947. Well, in 1947, no, I'll back up. I saw the body then. I didn't see UFOs. The UFOs came into the picture later years, 10 years later, for me. And also I worked out the omissions weren't in the UFOs. In fact, George, I've even told you, I think, that I was not interested in seeing UFOs. I was all interested in what was in those UFOs. You know, I told him I'm not interested in seeing something fly in the air, but I like to know what's inside that thing.
Me too. Show me the alien.
Yeah.
I want the alien.
A witness account that I was able to send you. That was a pretty good one.
Where's the
Yeah.
alien crew?
We are aliens.
Yeah,
The
we're
firefighters.
from this
I
world.
mean, come
We're
on, now,
what?
I might be the clone from the second Earth, because one, y'all thought I got abducted.
Well, dude, your crew from Nibiru, right, Julie? That's the crew that got
Yeah.
abducted and brought back from Nibiru.
Yep.
Yeah, the original crew. He's
What the hell happened to all of our viewers? Does nobody know that we are on right now?
I don't know.
Bro, we need to make a post on the Robert and Cruz Show page saying that we're all back on live, because this is the second episode in a row that nobody's been here.
I mean, we had people yesterday.
Yeah, you had me.
Yeah.
In 1947, the U.S. military recovered alien bodies in a crashed UFO in Roswell, New Mexico. The wreckage was unlike anything on Earth. Metal that returned to its original shape without wrinkles, material that wouldn't burn, and strange hieroglyphics in pink and purple. 4 small humanoid bodies were found. They were 4 to 5 feet tall, with big heads, large eyes, and 4 fingers. The Air Force quickly covered it up, claiming it was just a weather balloon. But witnesses started talking decades later. The debris and bodies were secretly flown to Wright Field, where even Senator Barry Goldwater was denied access. The truth? The military formed a top-secret committee to study UFO incidents. That's still classified today.
How about that, crew?
That's pretty good information, but I think the reason why nobody's viewing this episode tonight is because nobody cares about Roswell.
You don't care about Roswell.
Okay, let me explain. I'll put it this way. All right.
Crew hates aliens, man.
I
Like
don't hate
anytime
aliens.
I bring up aliens, he's like, "Why are we talking about aliens again? This is gay. Stop it. I won't talk about
No.
aliens anymore."
No. Here's okay, look. Roswell's a very well-known topic. Talked about too much. That's not my problem. My problem is they say one thing and then lie about what they want you to know. And I'm like, it's all because of Men in Black making it very clear that this is what needs to be known. You're not allowed to know this. And only one of the 4 aliens survived
Yep.
in
Well,
1947.
that's if you believe there were actually any aliens recovered.
So it's all alleged. It's a harmful conspiracy for entertainment purposes only. Because one, the thing is the government likes to control, doesn't like you to know the truth, and wants you to know what they want you to know. That's basically
Well,
what it is.
well,
And
they're never gonna
Roswell,
tell. They're never gonna tell us if there's aliens or not.
right? And
They're never
Roswell
going to do it.
is one
They're
of
gonna
those.
tease it.
And this is what. All right. So Roswell is, yes, it's a real town, but the Roswell incident is basically kind of like what's that one thing you talk about that they're gonna do? Project what?
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, this is a Project Bluebeam uh, little test. They're testing. They tested Project Bluebeam back in 1947 to basically test the waters. And guess what? They covered it up.
Yep.
And honestly, they're not going to admit that, but that's how I see it.
Well, Project Bluebeam was meant for basically holograms. The Roswell case was an actual crashed object.
Okay.
So I don't believe that was a hologram at all. I believe that was
Okay,
real.
no, I'm gonna basically put it like this in my way. All right, they did something kind of like Project Bluebeam, not Project Bluebeam itself, to make it seem like an unidentified object. But they're telling us no, it was a air balloon. So they covered it up by
Yep.
saying it's an air balloon. Therefore, it's similar to a Project Bluebeam incident.
Why cover it up though?
Because the government doesn't want you to know the truth.
But why?
Unless we listen to one of the whistleblowers.
That part. And
Because
they
there
like to
are
control.
whistleblowers out there.
Okay, so the government's all about power and control, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So basically, here's what they're using. In a sense, they're using MK Ultra, a Project Bluebeam similar like project, covering up the truth, and last but not least, telling us what they want us to hear, not what we need to next and what we need to know, not what they know.
So you think they were doing that all the way back then?
Yes, because here's the thing: when the government allows certain people into their headquarters, their offices, certain parts of the government, there's an ego trip in play. They're all big, bad. They think they can do what they want when they want and get away with it because they can. and we as the American citizens or anybody else around the world pay them be in office.
Well, yeah, we get paid to screw ourselves.
Yeah. And
Or sorry, we pay to screw ourselves.
so, okay, not only do we pay, but we pick them to be in office. So we're voting and paying the government to keep doing what they're doing. Now, I said this before and I'll say this again. You said this part. You said we need to stop voting. That's what you said, Rob. But I'm going to add on that we need to stop paying them.
Well, yeah, the checks stop, the work stop.
Because once you do that, you're hindering their ability to.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'll wait until he comes back because I'm on to something here.
So what is this Project Bluebeam?
Okay. Project Bluebeam is a project run by the government to make holographic objects and make it look like a real thing happening, like a simulation kind of like thing.
Okay, kind of like what they did at the Grammy Awards for Michael Jackson that one year.
No.
No.
Okay, so perfect example. World Trade Center.
Okay.
The aircraft's going into the World Trade Center in New York. That was a Project Bluebeam kind of like incident. It's all holographic, not real.
But what about all the people that died?
They're all in hiding. Now, back to what I was saying, Rob, because I'm on something. Okay.
Hey, with that, what you just said is all speculation. You don't know that to be true or not.
I was
That's all
giving a
alleged.
Project Bluebeam example.
Right. That's all alleged, though.
Right.
You better say it's alleged because a lot of people be upset with you, brother.
Yeah. Okay. But so because she was asking what Project Bluebeam was, which I kind of gave an example. Okay. So back to what I was saying, because I'm on something good. Basically, if we hindered their ability to control, to do what they like to do, manipulate we manipulate the system away to where we get rid of the people in power, what will happen?
Well, the government will fall.
Exactly. Because the fact that one, they've done this over the years to test the waters because the people behind them are telling them what to do. We hinder the people we hinder the people that are the ones that we see. The people behind the scenes have nobody.
See, the problem with that, though, is somebody will always back somebody in government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess
Somebody
that
will always pay the check.
kind of like when they say that the people went up into space and it exploded, but now apparently there's somebody that looks like, and they say that was a twin of the person that went into space, and
There's multiple. Everybody on the certain spacecraft flight you're talking about has a doppelganger.
yeah, apparently.
So, yes, basically, we got 4 factors in play. We got Project Bluebeam, similar to Project Bluebeam, I should say. We got MK Ultra. We got a manipulative government who likes to, tell us one thing when actually what they
It's
know.
something. Yeah.
And we got a cover up. And it's basically. So this is how it goes. The government used a similar Project Bluebeam technique to basically make it look like a aircraft crashed. They said it was an unidentified aircraft. Then they said they switched it up, saying it was an air balloon, and they MK'd Ultra us to mess with us, to make us not know what is actually the truth, and covered it up.
Yeah.
That's basically how it goes.
Supposedly.
Supposedly with the Roswell incident. And they said 4 aliens were discovered, but only 1 survived. But we don't know if they were aliens. They could have been pilots.
Yeah. I
Who knows?
saw that theory on a video also.
Yes. So, well, it's a very well-known theory, Julie. You gotta understand that.
Yeah. 'Cause they even said that there were pilots that was in that balloon.
Well, here's the thing.
Apparently.
They're telling us it's a balloon, but we don't know what it really was because they MK'd Ultra'd us back in the day.
Yeah.
Well,
All
yeah,
the
they
way
just
back in
lied to everybody.
1947.
Yeah.
No, they just lied to everybody.
Well, what I mean by MK'd Ultra people, they basically, okay, so the news people, right?
Yep.
They went to the news people, MK Ultra'd them to change the story.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by MK Ultra.
Kind of like the Men in Black. When
Right.
they just did that light thing.
Yeah. Now, Men in Black have been known to get involved in many, 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 many years of different cases when it comes to unidentified aircrafts and alien activity.
Yeah. Just like the creature in West Virginia. What's the name of it? It with the big wings and the red eyes.
Mothman?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great example. But when it comes to the Men in Black and they always being in control, it goes to the fact that they work for a higher power behind the scenes, running the whole ordeal, and they're told what needs to be done to keep order and secrecy and balance because that's the way of the higher powers, quote unquote, way of control.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. We know there's a organization or whatever behind the scenes running the whole deal, and they make it look like the government is actually in control. But there's always people above said government.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Now,
Always makes it interesting.
people might say what I'm saying is crazy talk, but here's the thing. It was proven that we're in a simulation.
Who proved that?
So this isn't crazy talk. This is all legend. But do you have any more videos for us, brother?
He's ended his career to come out and talk about this stuff because he's like, this is nuts. He essentially said that they are illegally hiding it from Congress and they are illegally hiding it from the American people, but they have off-world craft in possession. This is what Bob Lazar's been saying forever. This guy's saying that it was going on for 80 years. This brings us back to the 1940s. This means like Roswell. This is what they were talking about when all the people that were at Roswell, that were at the actual crash site and the actual claim they saw bodies, and then there was two different aircrafts that were flown in to Roswell, New Mexico, and took the wreckage and flew it in two different aircrafts in case one of them crashed. This has all been documented.
Joe speaking his 2 cents on the matter.
Yeah.
Weeks before Roswell was the first encounter with these men in black. So that would mean that there was already an alien presence going on that our government would have known about. Right. The story that initially happened, which was weeks before Roswell, that this guy was contacted by the men in black. And basically, he was out on his boat with like his son and his dog and 2 workers. And there was a craft that came like over the water. And there was like maybe, I think 3 of them or something, or maybe even more than that. But one of them started to like malfunction and it came crashing down and like the debris was like all over the place, hitting the boat. It hit the dog died, and this guy like got aboard like the land and was like just running for cover because there was like flames and fire everywhere. So now this guy goes home, and the next day he gets a knock on his door, and it's this guy all dressed in black with a hat on, and he basically says like, I know what you saw and you're gonna keep your mouth shut.
Men in Black.
Yeah. Because they did that to the people with the Mothman. There's a lot of men in black around there.
Oh, I'm sure.
What actually happened in Roswell, New Mexico on July 7, 1947, rancher McBrazel hauled in strange debris to the sheriff's office in Roswell, claiming that a UFO had crashed at his ranch. Immediately, the military got control of the situation and reported in the Roswell Daily Record that a flying saucer had crashed. However, 24 hours later, the military retracted its statement and instead said it was just a weather balloon. When officials asked to see the original debris collected, the military denied the request, saying that it was sensitive scientific equipment. Was the military trying to cover up a real UFO crash? Even though you can watch the full video by clicking on the link in the description below, many people are still wondering.
So there are 2 questions I have to ask
Go
you.
ahead.
The first one's kind of fun. Aliens. I want to talk to you about aliens.
Yeah.
UFOs, UAPs.
I know.
The disclosure we've seen in Congress
Yeah.
recently. It's confusing and upsetting a lot of Americans because there's something happening. There are unidentified aerial phenomena in the sky. We don't know what they are. Do you?
So it's such a question I do get a lot, and it's such an interesting question. I've met with pilots that look just like you, actually. Okay, they have more of a crew cut. Okay, they look like him and they look like you. Some of them look like you,
a little fatter.
but these are perfect people.
Okay,
and they're not
crazy.
Conspiratorial. They're not crazy.
Yeah.
And they tell me stories that they've seen things that you wouldn't believe. These are not people that you would say, "Gee, oh, that's
There's no
okay."
way. President of the United States.
But
I said,
who is it? That's Joe Biden wanting to do an interview. So I've met with pilots like beautiful Tom Cruise, but taller.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
handsome, perfect people. Sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter plane. And I look at these guys, and they really mean it.
Yeah.
And am I a believer? No, I can't say I am. But I have met with people that are serious people that say there's some really strange things that they see flying around out there. And, if you go to Nevada and you look at that little section of where they go to look at the aliens, where they think all the aliens are landing, that, it's I think it's maybe the number 1 tourist attraction in the United States.
Roswell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roswell. I think it's the number 1. It's the lines of people waiting. You have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have access to that information?
I have access, and I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it, and they will tell you there's something going on. When they say things are going 4 times faster than my beautiful top-of-the-line airplane that goes, real fast.
With no identifiable propulsion
Mach
system.
2,
Yeah.
right?
These things are creating their own gravity fields, allegedly.
Well, they have people that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there. And, it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just, for some reason, it's not my thing. But a lot of people believe that it's true. A lot of very good, solid people believe it's true.
What? And
I know there are illegal aliens out there, but those are the ones that come through the border. We have plenty of them. Those are the ones I know.
Okay, well, that was the last video that we had tonight. When it deals with Roswell, was it a weather balloon? I don't freaking think so. Was it a weather balloon, crew?
Nope.
Was it a weather balloon, Julie?
Nope, not at all.
I think we all know there was something else going on there in Roswell that fateful night or day.
Well, I said what I believe and explained my theory. So
Yeah,
I think aliens might be among us.
there's always that possibility.
Yeah. So anyway, is there anything else that needs to be said tonight about UFOs in Roswell?
the original crew is not going to come back. I'm the Andromeda. Or no, Nibiru.
You're on
crew.
Nibiru.
I'm Nibiru crew. So I'm the going forward on Nibiru crew. So like, subscribe, share with your friends, and enjoy the rest of season 6 going forward.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody needs to tune in because season 6 is going to be outrageous and really fun.
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right. Well, peace and much love from the Robert and Crew Show.
Everybody wants answers, but nobody's asking the right questions. This is gonna blow your mind. And maybe make you laugh too. Welcome to the Robert and Crew Show, where we dig up conspiracies, chase UFOs, and turn the weirdest news into wild stories. Join Robert, Crew, and Julie every week for secrets, laughs, and the unexplained. Season 6 is streaming now. Follow us if you dare.